مرحبا السلام عليكم كيف حالكم؟ today I'm in عمان جوردن مع جولي. هلا جولي.
مرحبا كيفك؟
مرحبتين. كيفك انتي؟
أنا كويسة وأنت؟
أنا كويس الحمد لله. أهلا وسهلا فيكي. But Julie is a language teacher, French and English language teacher, and also an Arabic learner. She's now living in Amman. We're going to talk about some challenges. شوية تحديات واجهتها Julie. Some challenges Julie has faced. Grammatical. So there's another video we talked about the general challenges. In this one we're going to niche down a little bit, talk about one or two of the main challenges. So احكي لي Julie, tell me, what are you facing? What are some of the things that challenge you, bother you, or give you a headache when it comes to learning Arabic?
So it kind of evolves as I learn, of course. The current ones are the direct, indirect object pronouns. Mm-hmm. So أعطيني, but why is it not أعطي لي? Or, yeah, I'm confused.
تمام. هلا what I tell students usually, and I think there's probably more strict rules on this, but think of when if there's action happening directly to you, you end with a ni. And this is only, we're talking about the ana form, yeah? The ana, which is I, the pronoun I, as we know. For example, احكي ni, in Jordanian Arabic, for example, is called me. The action is happening directly to me. So I say احكي ni. But if I want to say, tell me something, or say to me, we'll say احكي لي وأدى لا. And the reasoning for this, the way I explain it, is there's something that's about to be told. So say to me. Say something to me. احكي لي.
Right.
So the L there is like for me. Think of that like for me. The ni is just directly to me. I'll do another separate video on this for like in Arabic.
So like, do you see me? Like, for example, we start a Zoom meeting. Like, can you see me? Can I say بتشوفني?
ممتاز بالضبط.
Yes?
بتشوفني. Yeah, exactly. You'll be the na there, not li. So شوف لي ممكن نقول شوف لي إشي, like see for me something. Like I can tell you, Julie, شوفي لي إشي من عمان, شوفي لي أرجيلة من عمان, شوفي لي شيشة. Like check out a shisha for me in Amman, bring it back when you come back from Amman. If a friend is asking you
So
that, for example.
li. That's with li?
Exactly, that's with li. Yeah.
Because you're looking at something else for me.
Yes. شوفي لي, جيبي لي, bring for me. جيبي لي, جيب لي, which is bring, جيبي لي.
But if I say جيبيني, it's like bring me.
There we go. We got it.
Bring me to another place.
كمان مرة.
Bring me to another place, like.
Exactly. So bring me, مثلا جيبني. جيبني من المطار. We can say this is like pick me up from the airport. جيبني من المطار. جيبني من المطار. Bring me. خلاص, there's nothing else. But جيب لي, bring for me. جيبي لي هدية. Bring me a gift مثلا. Okay, for example. But back to your example with the you see me. بتشوفني, yes, exactly me. But a little bit better is to use the active participle, which is شايف to a male. شايفني. شايفني? شايفني? Are you seeing me? To a female, شايفتيني. We'll discuss that later. But yeah, if we're going with the male form, شايف, شايفة, and then شايفين. To a group, شايفيني, active participle.
Okay. Let's not make it more confusing, okay? I'm gonna try and practice the li and the ni, and then we can add more.
Hopefully it's a little more clear now. Like think of the examples we went through, like bring me and bring for me. So if there's something that's being brought, you go with li, for me. But it's bring me, like literally bring me somewhere, like physically me, jibni.
And so I like to find like little techniques to remember these. So for example, the ni would be like ana. Like ana is the thing that's being brought, right? Like I.
And ana has an N?
And it has an N, like ni, right?
Yeah.
Cool. You're welcome, people.
So that helps. There you go. So hopefully that also helped some of you. Again, there's more detailed, especially more detailed explanation with the ni, but to keep it simple, think of it like that. And again, sometimes, like I was telling Judy, you just have to know the thing. Like in English, you say, tell me, but you say to me. I never say me, right? Say me something, no. Say something to me, okay? But I can say, tell me something directly. So you just have to know what works and what doesn't work. Sometimes you just have to just know things, or memorize.
Yeah, it's the same. Do you know it's karma? Because I tell my students that in French, like you need to know if it's dire à quelqu'un ou I don't know venir de. Like you need to know this. You just need to know it. And they're like, but how? How can I learn this? And now I'm going through the same thing in Arabic.
Le pratiquer. You say ده
La
صح؟
pratique.
La pratique. Oh, la pratique. Okay, I need to brush up on my French. طيب, the next grammar challenge you're facing.
The plurals.
Okay.
The plurals, that's it. That sums it up. The plurals. Like, why is it واحد كرسي, كرسيين,
كرسيين.
and then كراسي.
Yeah.
But then بيت, بيتين, بيوت. باب, بابين, بواب.
أبواب.
أبواب. That's the one that had a. Okay, أبواب. Okay. Why?
Why? I don't know. I didn't invent the language.
Okay.
بس there again, this is the examples you're referring to. There's the easy part and there's the difficult part. The dual form in Arabic will always have an in. This makes things super simple, especially in spoken Arabic. We don't do in Fusha. There's an and there's in. مثلا ولدان, ولدين. There's the an and there's the ain. Okay. In Ammiya we just do in. ولدين, بنتين, طاولتين, كرسيين, in. We never say اثنين كرسي. No. The only or one of the few examples is when I would actually say the number and then thing. So I'm ordering, for example, shawarma. Say اثنين shawarma. لو سمحت. اثنين بيبسي.
So I learned something the other day asking people, for example, if I want to ask for 2 tomatoes, I won't say banadurten or something like that. I'll say habten bandura, right?
Yeah.
So the habe or unit?
Unit, yeah.
Yeah?
Kind of
Okay.
Like unit, yeah.
So yes, I learned that. But then my problem is that
We're still
not
going
forgetting the
habten.
yeah.
You're not saying happy, you're saying habtin.
So the N, as you mentioned, is pretty straightforward. It's okay. The other one.
Exactly. So yeah, like we said, the simple part, adding the in, especially in spoken Arabic, just adding an in suffix to make the dual form. Now the other one that Julie was talking about, the plurals, and the example she brought up is what's called جمع التكسير بالعربي. This translates into broken plural because there's not an easy way to kind of categorize these. The good news is there are categories and there are patterns. There's quite a few of them. But once you start visualizing them and you have them kind of categorized, it will make things a little bit easier. Okay. Again, plurals are one of the more complex things for sure, and they will take time. And I have advanced students that are also struggling with this. It's very normal to go through this, but you just for now focus on just ordering habtain bandora instead of many, or like just to get kursiyin instead of karasi. Just invite one friend, not many friends, to make your life easier. Then when you know the plurals, you can have a party and invite as many people as you want.
But my problem is I am such a lazy learner that I will do that all the time. Like I do that already with the numbers. Like I couldn't be bothered to learn the numbers. I still to this day have some confusions between 8 and 9. So if I have to meet up at 8, I'll say like, I'll be there at 7 because I know 7 and I know 10. So like, or like if I pay for something, I'll ask the numbers like the ones that I know, as close as the ones I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you give me this tip of not using the plurals that I'm not confident with, I'm just gonna never learn them.
All right, I'll take that back. So one tip that I will recommend is every time you want to order something, you're living in an Arab speaking country. So anytime you want to order something, literally ask the person, how do you say this in the plural? And slowly take note of that. And if you want to say same with طاولة, if you want to say شو جمع طاولة, just ask this question. What's the plural of شو جمع طاولة, for example? What's the plural of طاولة?
So for me personally, I find that people understand more what I'm trying to say because, as you mentioned, it's such an obvious thing for native speakers. They don't even wonder, why I would ask this. So what I tried to do was واحد كتاب كتابين and show like this, and then for them to complete the sentence, So that has worked, and I do that, and I write them down, in I have lists of, lists of vocabulary with, English, singular, dual, plural,
Cool, very cool.
So for example, can you explain or give me one category? Can you give me the categories?
Tamam. So categories, there's a few, and I think to kind of avoid confusion and stress, I'll make a separate video about that. So stay tuned, subscribe if you haven't, and we'll talk about that. Subscribe. You're not subscribed?
Of course I am.
طبعا 100%.
أكيد.
أكيد. تمام. Anything else you wanted to talk about before we go?
No, I think right now these are my struggles.
Yeah.
I kind of cracked the past tense.
Yeah.
I'm getting there. Yeah. So yeah, just this.
خلاص great 100% ولو زي ما قلت لك like I said anytime you're out try to ask someone for the plural. I know it sounds cheesy but you know if people are generally friendly especially you're someone that's inspired by motivated to learn and you want to learn people should be happy to help. So yeah just ask شو جمع and the word شو جمع دفتر شو جمع كتاب شو جمع that means what's the plural of and we don't say of we just say what plural and then the word شو جمع كلمة بس and then slowly you build a little mini notebook / dictionary 700 page plural dictionary. طيب guys thank you for stopping by. Check out Julie's channel. What's your channel, Julie?
So Towanda Language School. I talk about learning French. I give resources, exercises, everything, and also learning languages in general. So yeah, I think it's quite useful. I'm on YouTube and Instagram. So yeah.
100% we'll have the links in the description so check those out. بشوفكم الفيديو الجاي. See you in the next video.